Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the North East Non-League Show, sponsored by DJ Private Hire, Gateway Accountancy Services Limited, Elite Goalkeeper Academy, Motivate, and Danny Lair Plumbing and Heating. Tonight is episode 90, Belmont United special with player manager Stephen Turnbull. Stephen, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight.
No, thanks for having us, buzzing, mate. Thanks for squeezing me in.
I know there'll be a few watching saying you said it was your last one last week, but I thought it was Stephen message and Belmont, like you said, we just want to help the club with all the great news of last week, which we're going to go over shortly. So thank you everyone for retuning back in. And this is the last show before a little break, I promise this time. But getting on to the big announcement, Stephen, from last week, and the first team now moving to Ferns Park. How did it all come around?
Well, obviously we're Belmont, and we've never really been able to play in Belmont, like the adults anyway. Obviously all the kids play at the hubs when they're young, and that's great. But the adult side, we've always wanted to be in Belmont, but the options are really limited. So like, you have the community centre where a lot of our kids' teams play, but obviously there's cricket as well. Cricket sort of takes priority on the pitch, and the fields are not great either. So that if it rains, you lose a lot of games straight away. When we first started, we were at Laurel Avenue at the primary school, which was great. And then we went to Horton. But again, like Horton's 10-15 minutes away, and it's been brilliant. Like, we'll always be grateful for the Horton keep here. We've been there with Labour and Grove, it's been fantastic. But again, you want to be in Belmont. Do you know what I mean? Like, we are Belmont, and if we can be in it, we would. And we finally in a position to be able to do it. So we just thought, like, it's a big chance. Do you know what I mean? To basically have Belmont in Belmont. So yeah, we went for it, really. Thought, oh, why not? Let's have a go.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, when I first seen it, no disrespect, like you said, at Horton, but you look at the club now playing in Belmont, you see the little stand that's there, the little stadium, and you can get the sponsorship boards up, you can have hospitality and more sponsorship. It's huge, isn't it? It's a massive direction going forward.
It's massive, mate. Yeah, like, as I say, I know I've said it a few times already, but being Belmont and playing in Belmont's huge. There was times last year where, like, you go into Horton, and don't get me wrong, the facilities at Keeper, the facilities at Labour and Grove are good. They are good. Especially Labour for a grass pitch. It's one of the best grass pitches around here, like, without a doubt. Like, with the weather last year being so bad, and considering there was us, and we were sharing it with Durham, and there was also another side who played in one of the Christian leagues, I think it was. And there's three of us, potentially four, with a Sunday team on it, and we had a handful cancelled, like, considering how bad the weather was. But most of the time, the pitch is spot on there. So you can't complain about it. It's excellent. But again, it was just the overriding opportunity to be in Belmont, and hopefully not constantly feel like the away team. So, like, even when you were at home, you sort of driving 15 minutes, you're lugging nets, corner flags, because there was nowhere to store anything. Everything, you had to take everything with you. And you know yourself, like, when you're trying to help out match days or having committee members at games and stuff like that, like, it's a lot of stuff to carry, plus your kits, your balls, your kit, like, all that sort of stuff. So hopefully that side of things will be a bit easier for us, game to game, and hopefully the committee will have a little bit less to do. You know what I mean? Because you're carrying the same amount of stuff to a home game as you would to an away game, if not more to a home game, because you're taking nets and stuff. So hopefully that'll free up a bit of time for some people as well to put it to better use. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's really good. And like you say, the sponsorship as well, you can say with the boards going up and stuff, but the hospitality would be great to see, kind of match sponsors, ball sponsors coming along, a little bit food on for them. But then little things that grows in relationships of, I mean, we've been doing the thing at West End over the summer, and getting the local people on board, it just makes such a difference, doesn't it?
100%, mate. I mean, we are well aware that it's nothing like happens overnight. So, like, us, even getting to play back in Belmont hasn't happened overnight. The first, like, adults team's been going, this is our fourth season, I think, or fourth year or whatever, and we're just getting it to play where we're from. Like, it takes a long time to build towards stuff. So, like, the sponsorship side of things, like, we've been very fortunate with some of the people that have been part of the club who've helped out with that side of things, because everybody knows how expensive it is. It's crazy money, like crazy money play football. You have to invest. You have to have 5 people that'll raise money. You've got to have people that are willing to be on your side and basically believe in what you're trying to do. Because they're giving up their time, their money, and they're putting their logos on stuff for you. The hospitality thing, it's something that we're obviously thinking about and looking at as well. Because obviously, I played for Durham City when Durham City played there, and they used to do stuff then. And then when Durham Corinthians were Durham United, when they were playing there, I sponsored one of the players, my cousin, when he played, Josh. And they invited all the sponsors along, and they got to watch the game. They would give not much, do you know what I mean? But made people feel that little bit special, create good relationships, and hopefully it goes a long way. So yeah, we just wanted to be in Belmont. Hopefully we can build on it, and we're well aware that there's a lot of hard work and it's going to take time, but it's nothing we haven't done before. We're just trying to take that next step and bring it back to the area as well. Like bring football, not bring it back, sorry, because it's always been there, but bring us to Belmont again to play, and hopefully we can build on it and make it a success.
Yeah, like you say, Belmont, the area itself, you've got Belmont, then just on to Carvale, Gilesgate. It's massive. Like you say, it could go out to further village as well. But if you start to put in the right football, get everything done right, you're going to attract them crowds back to New Ferns Park, aren't you?
Well, I'd like to think so, mate. Yeah. Again, we know it'll take time, but it's one of them. Like we've got a huge youth section, and the kids love coming to watch. Watch the lads play, and they come down to Leyburn. We went down last year at Barnet Castle away, and we had six of the kids take 6 kids come in their Belmont kids to watch, and I was thinking, this is Barnet Castle away. It's miles away for like a 6, 7, 8-year-old to come with their parents to watch. Do you know what I mean? And we were just thinking, like, if we can make the kids feel special, make them mascots or whatever in that ground, it's a big thing for them as well. Hopefully the parents will come along and that they'll like what they see in terms of the football, have a nice few hours out. That's not too expensive maybe for a family who like football, because you know how expensive it is when you've got kids to go out for the day. It can be a lot of money. So fingers crossed that it'll get people to come down. And then especially in the winter, when the pitches are bad and the weather's bad, you can sit in the stand and you can keep dry, and you can hopefully maybe come and watch some of our games when other people's are called off, stuff like that. So we know it's going to take time. We know it's a lot of hard work, but we've had a lot of people get in touch straight away and ask, like, when's the first home game, because the fixtures have changed slightly, because obviously we've changed where we're playing. So that was positive straight away, which we were really happy about. So yeah, we've got a lot of good people at Belmont who work hard, and they're not scared of knuckling down to make something a success. So I've got no doubt that will make it a success. It's just going to take a lot of hard work, but there's no time limit on that. We've got to keep until basically you get it to where you need it to be.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously the kid football teams, which is absolutely great. I love seeing the posts on the social media. But if you get them involved, I know we do it with free season tickets, but then they come along with 2 adults, they're paying, they get some food, they get a drink, football cards, meat raffles, whatever they do. It's more income for the club, but the kids love it as well. It's something that they look forward to then going to the weekend, don't they?
100%, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's a massive thing. The club was started for the kids, basically. It was for the youth section was the reason we started it. The adults team sort of just came about a few years ago because when I went through that last time, I was at Durham United, and it didn't work out there. We sort of parted, and then Phil asked us if he'd be interested in doing it here, and I said, well, if you can set it up, yeah. And basically we're getting closer to that pathway now. So we've got an under 16s, we've got an under 14s. So like it's sort of starting to get to the point where we have teams in every age group. So we want that to be something that those boys, and obviously the girls can't move past 16s with the men's first team, but we want the boys to be able to look up to it and think, I'd love to play in that. Do you know what I mean? It needs to look, it needs to be successful. It needs to have something about it to create that progression. Like that'll be a massive day for Belmont when the first person who's been through the youth section plays in the first team. That'll be huge for the club, because that was the idea basically when it started. So yeah, it's just it's that really, just trying to keep it going, get it going through the youth section into the adults, and keep building it.
No, brilliant. Like you say, when any news anyone shares at the minute, there's always a few grumbles, but I think in the long run it's going to be a great move. I know a few people have mentioned the pitch not in the best condition, but if you can stay there and, like you say, the youth teams then possibly come down to play and stuff like that, and bringing all the income in, and people that's obviously own it, sees you doing the hard work, in the future, you never know, it could be resurfaced and looking for the more brighter future as well, couldn't it?
I mean, mate, as I say, like it some of the grumbles that we've heard, that we've seen on social media and all that, like you just think like everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everyone can say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, we're playing in a league where it's a great standard, to be fair, for the league that it is. It's such a tough division, massively, and some of the new teams that have come into our league as well, and the league above, and to be fair, the league below, the Wayside League is probably as strong as I've ever seen it. I think it's fantastic at the minute. But everyone's entitled to do things the way that they see fit. So, like, we were in a position where we had an opportunity, and we thought, well, let's go for it, because what's our other options of getting our team where it's from to play? Obviously, we know the crack with the pitch. Everybody knows, it's common knowledge. Like, that pitch cannot get you into the Northern League, but it is literally the surface of the pitch that can't get you in.
Yeah.
So everything else in terms of the facilities can take you all the way through the leagues. It can take you right up towards the Football League. So it's the pitch, and everybody knows, like, that's why Durham Corinthians have gone. But Durham Corinthians are in a different position to what we're in. So I think they finished third last season in the Wayside Prem. I think, I might be wrong, but they were quite close to the top. They were close to getting what they're looking for. And rightly so, if they can't achieve that promotion at Ferns Park, they've gone to find somewhere where they can. And hats off to them for being so ambitious. Like, I think that's fantastic. It's a shame that obviously they've had to leave the area, but they've got to do what's right for them. And I just think, like, fair play. Like, but we're not in that position right now. Like, we're not in. We don't need to have a ground that allows us to play in the Northern League. We are very realistic. We're in the Wayside one. We've been close to promotion the last 2 years, but we haven't achieved it. So maybe if we had achieved it, the conversation with Ferns Park might have been different, because if we achieved promotion 2 years ago or last season, we might have been looking at this season thinking, well, we don't want to be up there and not be allowed to get promoted or whatever. We might have different conversations, but we're not in that position right now. So we've made a decision based on getting into Belmont and putting sort of our finances to what we think is the best use of them. And in the league we're in, personally, obviously it's opinions, but I believe now we have the best facilities in the league we're in. And I don't think there's any better way to look at it than that. We're looking at the right now and the future, but not massively long term, because obviously the pitch doesn't allow that. But yeah, we sort of got into a position, like, financially. Obviously, a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, it's crazy money for," and sort of like calling the stadium on the whole, it's a run down this, and I'm like, it's not. The pitch isn't what it needs to be for a certain standard, but the facilities are not run down. I think a lot of money's been spent there over the last year or so, making sure things are a bit better than maybe what it was in the past. But you won't. I don't think you'll find better facilities in the league we're in. Absolutely not. But again, like our club, the way it's run, our youth section to the adults team is completely separate. So, like, none of that ever crosses. So basically, like, if you had a team in Belmont and I have a team in Belmont, if you raised money, that goes in your bank account. It stays with you. No one else gets to touch that. So every team's money is separate. They all have their own bank accounts. They're run by their teams, their coach, or whoever's responsible for their money. And the adult section is completely separate to that. So any money that the adults team raises goes there. Any money that the youth section raises goes there. So there's no ever any. So we're very transparent with the parents, because I would not like to think I was paying. Well, what we pay is £20 a month for kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I wouldn't want my £20 for my son playing football to be paid to, I don't know, number 12 on a Saturday for me, or put towards the adults getting training gear or whatever, because for me that wouldn't sit right. Like that's not the way that it should be run. It's completely separate, and we've decided that that's the best way to do it. Even the committees are separate. So, for example, like Phil's the chairman of the whole club, Phil Scope. I'm the vice chairman of the whole club, but I'm not on the committee for the adults team, because that would just wouldn't make any sense. Do you know what I mean? So there's crossover with a couple of them. Him, Dan Chester, they're on both committees. I think there might be another, but then the committees are run completely separate. So there's never any crossover in terms of what they're doing. So yeah, we just try to keep it as transparent as possible, because obviously there's a lot of questions like, oh, it's very expensive to play there, blah blah blah, and people don't know the full ins and outs. But yeah, there's no chance that like the kids and the adult sides get combined. I know other clubs do. As I say, everyone has their own opinions on how they want to run stuff. But we decided as a committee very early on, when we first set up the adults team, that it's either completely separate or it doesn't happen. Because we've seen other teams where it implodes because there's a massive you know what I mean? It becomes very, very touchy, doesn't it, when you're paying for your son, but I don't know, such and such is getting paid 15 quid to play up front. So it doesn't work, and I don't think it's not ethical. Do you know what I mean? So we got in a good, fortunate position with sponsors and some very good people who basically said, look, we can do this, and we can help you do that with Ferns Park, or you can have this, and you can have some sort of like budget for your players. And I first said, I don't want that. I said, I don't want to be paying players. I said, like, we're not in that situation. I don't want to. We'd much rather do something for the whole club, for the area, get us back in, and then as a club we can build on that. And hopefully, obviously the adults are in there now, but hopefully we can get the youth section involved with that as well. And I think it'd just be brilliant for Belmont in the long run, in the full. So yeah.
Yeah, really positive, some great news. Like I said, before we get on the field stuff, just want to say everyone that's watching so far, thank you so much. Double figures again, amazing support. Please get across to Belmont United, social media, like and follow, and help the club as much as you can as well. We're getting on the field as well, and how's it been going? I know there's been a few signings coming in. Happy, ready for the season to start?
Yeah, pre-season's been a bit different this year. We started slightly later. Obviously the season finished later because of the bad weather. So we still had the same amount of time off, sort of thing. So we started maybe a week later or a week and a half later. It was a decent start. We sort of wanted to change what we did last season, because we came quite close, as I said, to promotion twice, I think. We started by a few points. I think we finished fourth twice, but it was quite tight up there. But we weren't really scoring as many goals as we would like. So we sort of missed out by maybe, I think it was about 6 points in the end last season. But I think we scored about 30 goals less than the team above us, or the second place who got promoted. So that's a massive amount of goals when we're playing the same amount of games. So we sort of changed our approach a little bit over pre-season, try to be a bit more forward thinking, seeing if we can create a bit more, because I think that was maybe what we were missing. Well, looking at the numbers, that pretty much looked like that's what we were missing. But yeah, the new boys who come in, they've been excellent. But we've been a little bit unfortunate with a couple of injuries. So signed Jack Gordon, he was playing for what was Hilda Park last year. He plays for Houston on Sunday morning. Really good attacker, Jack. And he played the first 2 friendlies and he did really, really well. And then he got injured, but he didn't even get injured at footy. He got injured celebrating Cole Palmer's goal in the World Cup. So he still hasn't told us the full story, but he said he jumped, and then when he's landed, the floor was wet because he was out, and he's twisted his ankle and he's done the ligaments in his ankle. So and he's out for the ages. So I was like, for fuck's sake, you cannot write that. But and then we played the next friendly after that against Durham Corinthians, and Liam Butler got injured. So that was 2 of our strikers. He did his ligaments in his ankle as well, and I was like, oh dear me. But there's not much you can do about it, is it? That's why you've got to have a squad, and you've got to try and get over that. Signed a couple others as well. We signed a young lad recently called Shea Simmons. He was playing for Coxer last year in our league. He plays for Coxer on a Sunday morning as well. Very, very tired player. Like he was playing under 18s last year, so he's only young. Another young lad who them 2 are good mates called Joseph De Silva Dunn. So he was playing 18s as well, and he played for Coxer on a Sunday. Very good, quick winger. And then we signed Josh Little, who was playing in our league for New Durham. Very good centre half, quick. And we signed Craig Gilson. I don't know if you know Craig. He was playing for Belmont Club on a Sunday, big centre half. So he's brought a bit more leadership to us. He's vocal, he's big, he's strong. He's a bit of an older head for us as well, so that was nice. And a lad called Alfie Simpson, who was playing for Berkeley in our league as well. So he basically caused us a few problems when we played against them. And I thought I like the look of him. And then he plays for Sticky Wicket on a Sunday morning as well. So played against him there as well. And just got on to him. He said he wasn't really enjoying it towards the end of last season, lost a bit of love for it. Worked pretty hard to convince him to come and just see what he thought of it. And he's banging into it again now. He says he's loving it and stuff. So I'm dead happy that he's there. He's a midfielder. So we made like 5 or 6 signings. We've got a couple of lads back who were sort of out injured. So we brought back Dan Scott, keeper, and Jack Hall, keeper. Jack's been injured for about a year, so that was a big one to bring back. And we nearly lost Manta. He didn't want to play because he went through quite a lot last season, like on the pitch, off the pitch, and he said he wasn't sure if he wanted to put himself through it because there was a few times last year where it's awful to talk about, but it needs to be spoken about that he was racially abused on the pitch a few times last year, and it really hurts him. It really affects him, which it will. And he said he didn't want to play this year. He said, I'll sign on, but I'm not playing. I don't want to. And he didn't come to training and stuff, and that's not like him. He said he's always there. But we just said to him, like, look, like, we're all in it together. I know we're not experiencing it what you are, because we'll never understand. I'll never understand what that feels like, I don't think. But we managed to get him to come back. We showed him a bit of love, and we got him back on the pitch for some of the friendlies, and he's been like sort of like a new signing, because we were nearly preparing to have him. So, and he's been brilliant. I think he scored 3 out of the 4 he's played in pre-season, and he's probably been one of our best players, along with Joseph, who we signed as well. So it's been brilliant to have him back. But I felt deeply sorry for him, because I thought there was quite a few times when it happened, it was reported and just nothing was done about it. And it's not right. It's not right to have a young lad, he's 20-odd year old, not wanting to play football anymore because of stuff like that. But he's back and he seems to be enjoying it again. So fingers crossed he keeps enjoying it, because he's a fantastic player. And he knows we're all behind him. So anything he needs. And if it happens again this season, we've told the league and we've told the FA that if it happens at all this season at any point, the whole team will just walk off the pitch. Despite no matter what the result is. it doesn't matter what game it is, what the result is, the whole team will walk off the pitch. Because if something needs to be done about stuff like that, it's awful. It's awful. But he's back anyway, and he seems pretty happy, and he seems like he's flying. So fingers crossed, man, that it doesn't happen again.
No, hopefully. I mean, looking at the league as well, and I mean, I've just been looking before. I know the West End's got a reserve side just gone in as well, and some really strong sides in there. And I mean, you look at your division as well, and some big names. Obviously not doing so well the last couple of years, but the likes of Durham City, Willerton, who you played many times in the Northern League, and to see them in the same division now as Belmont United, it's massive to see how much a club can grow, but also how much a club can just drop so quick. It just shows you how quick things change in football, isn't it?
Oh, mate, football's ruthless, isn't it? Like, it's awful. Yeah. Like, I mean, let's be honest. The Durham City and the Willington that everybody knows, there's no way that they should be in the league that we're in. You know what I mean? Like, they just shouldn't be. And like, I hope, well, touch wood, not maybe at the expense of us. I hope they do go back to where they should be. I really do. I hope they move up through the leagues. There's some very good people at Durham. I spoke to them at the end of last season on the pitch after one of our games. Like Gaz Hutch, Lance, who's there, they've been there through it all. Do you know what I mean? And I just said to them, like, enjoy your cup final, whatever happens. Like I said to Lance, I said to him, and he had tears in his eyes, the poor bloke. I said, like, you deserve it more than anybody else here. You've been through all of the rubbish, and this is finally you're getting a moment where you can like enjoy it properly. And I said, like, I hope you enjoy your day because you really do deserve it. And then, like, with Willington, I know a couple of the lads that stuck. Well, I don't know the lad who's fully in charge. I don't think I've met him, but I know Luke Graham's there as well. Luke's was a very good keeper. I don't know if he's going to play this year or not, but I know he's a very, very good goalkeeper. And I think it was. I think was it Chris Story involved as well. I think
so really experienced.
They've got some very good people involved, so I have no doubt that they'll be flying as well come the start of the season. Some of the lads have brought in like Graham Lazenby, Millie. I know Millie well through footy, and then his kid is the same age as my oldest Oscar, so they've been playing in the same division on a Saturday morning. So we speak quite a lot. They'll struggle. You'll struggle to find a better defender in the Northern League too. Having him in this league, they're laughing. I don't know if he is, but I would presume he'll probably be their skipper. And what a great lad to have about the place that is. So they'll be up there 100%. They will. They'll have a great side.
No, it's really exciting. I mean, looking at yourself as well, I mean, what's your aims now for the season? Obviously, moving to Ferrens Park, very exciting. I mean, what's your aims going into the season?
I mean, it's always promotion, isn't it? We want to get promoted, obviously, but we understand it's really, really difficult. Like, we know we've been quite close the last twice. Last year we were top for ages, but we played more games than anyone else. So, like, we were sort of hoping in a way that when people have midweekers to play, they might drop points and stuff. But and we still had each other to play, so it was always going to be quite tight. But we just fell away at the end. Obviously, when as I said before, we weren't scoring enough goals really. So with it being quite a tight one towards the end, when you're not scoring as many goals as you would like, I don't know, maybe other teams dropping off maybe 30-40% in front of goal, they might still score 2 or 3, where we'll be looking at maybe 1 or 2. So it was becoming really tight, and we just ran out of steam. I think we ran out of steam. Maybe style of play, maybe the squad depth or whatever, but we just didn't get over the line. So that's the aim again, is to try and get promoted. But as you've just said, mate, with the teams in the league, like our game got cancelled on Saturday, and I went to watch Ferry Hill play Durham, and Ferry Hill beat them 7-2. Ferry Hill were excellent, but that could have been 3-3 at half time, and it was a very open and a very good game to watch. But Ferry Hill were second half were just ruthless, like absolutely ruthless. But again, first half, as I say, it could have been like 3-3, or if either side was 2-1 up, you couldn't have complained about it. Really, it was a very it was decent first half, but again, very ill. Kicked on second half, and they were really, really good.
No, very exciting. A lot of goals last season as well, which would be nice to see this year as well. But still, like you say, we wish you the very best of luck. Like you say, now at Ferns Park, hopefully we get luck and get a game vlogged as well next season, which we'd like to do sometime on the channel as well. But we wish you the very best of luck for the season coming up.
Oh, thank you very much, mate. Thanks for doing this as well. Because as I say, it's massive for the club. It's massive. The kids, like when we've told the kids side that that's where we're going to be playing, because quite a lot of them do come and watch. They were buzzing. They were like genuinely excited. Do you know what I mean? And like they can come down and like parents can genuinely now, if they want to come and watch Belmont United play, hopefully they'll enjoy watching us play. Hopefully we'll win a load of games and we'll do really well. But even just for me putting my youth side of the club's head on and thinking about that, they can genuinely go and have a day out. If that makes do you know what I mean? They could go down, they can take them to the trampoline park beforehand. There's an ice cream parlour, there's a game of footy. And if it's a nice day, fantastic. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully we win on top of that. But yeah, it would just be great to see people come down and support us and just get on board. Do you know what I mean? It's hard running teams on a Saturday. I didn't realise how hard it was, to be honest, until we started doing it properly, financially and time-wise and all that sort of stuff. And like the lads who do it, and the women who do it, because there's so much fundraising goes into it as well, and all of them that carry everything, wash the kits, all of that sort of stuff. They're brilliant. We have people doing jobs that you would never expect of them to do. As I say, match days have basically consisted for the last year of Phil Scorp, Dan Chester and Joe Marley, pretty much, as well as Joe's wife, my wife, just chipping in and doing as much as you possibly can. And it, as you say, it is hard work, but we really like people to come down and just come and have a look, even if you just do it once and see what you think. Do you know what I mean? Give us the chance, especially now we're in Belmont. There'll be lots more coming out. We've had a great old mate of mine get in touch as well, which was really, really generous, and offered to do some media stuff with us, not just photos of the games. He actually got in touch and said he wanted to do some sort of what was his words? Some sort of documentary, a little grassroots documentary about Belmont and stuff like that, which was lovely. That's Nathan Clark, who does Canvas, the media. So and I just thought, mate, what a lovely gesture. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, that's fantastic. So we're in the middle of planning that with him. And yeah, it's just brilliant, mate. It's hard work, but there's a lot of other things. This is just one of a few things that hopefully will be coming out about Belmont, whether it's first team, that side of the club, or whether it's the youth section, that people can get excited about. So hopefully we can keep doing stuff for the area as well. Because we also, I wanted to mention, we're supporting a lovely charity for a little boy as well at the minute, and I'll see if I can send you some deals. But he's from here. I'll be honest, I can't remember what it is called. I should have wrote it down. But basically, he has a condition that it's so rare that it's not covered by the NHS at all. So they have to raise all the funds themselves for it. So we have a charity every year, and we change it every year. And this year it is for him. So I'll see if I can remember. I'll see if I can get all the details, and I'll put it on one of these shared posts.
Definitely.
It's on the Belmont page, but I should have wrote it down, to be honest. There's that much going on, but yeah, there's lots coming. Hopefully that we can get out done sooner rather than later. But it's got to be done right as well. So we don't want to rush anything. Make sure it's all done properly. But yeah, exciting times, mate. Really good, really good.
No, really good. Like I say, we are back Thursday, the 22nd of August for our next show as well. And like I say, everyone that's been watching at night, please get across to Belmont United, the social medias, like and follow. Please subscribe to the channel as well. It's been a massive the last 4 or 5 days. My phone's been non-stop. I think we've had 50 new subscribers, 40,000 views in the last 4 days, man. It's absolutely amazing. Just keep supporting the non-league football as much as you can as well. Get out the weekends and support your clubs. But Stephen, thank you very much for coming on. And like I say, I wish you the very best of luck for the season as well.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you.
That's